Hi, Pastor Eric here. Wanted to share an encouraging word with you this morning. It's amazing the places that we can find ourselves in sometimes. The challenging and the frustrating, and sometimes feeling like we're overwhelmed by the situations, the circumstances in our life that we face. But I take great courage in knowing that when we walk in God's ways, that God walks with us, that He doesn't expect us to do it alone, that He's wanting to move in our lives and through our lives in some incredible ways. Moses found himself in that circumstance several times, but one specific instance was very interesting to me. And it's found in the book of Exodus. It's chapter 14, verses 13 through 15. Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid, stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again. The Lord will fight for you." And then he adds this little phrase in there, "You need only be still." Man, that sounds amazing, because here was God's people. They were doing their best to follow God that had brought them to this place where they were butted up against a body of water. And then here comes the enemies of God, the Egyptians, that were coming in behind them. And it looked like it was going to be a slaughter. And Moses gets up and speaks and looks, God hasn't abandoned us. He's brought us here for this exact time, for this exact situation. He's going to do something amazing. But it's that last little phrase that gets Moses in a little bit of trouble. You need only be still. Verse 15, God contradicts that last little bit of that statement. He says to Moses, "Why are you crying out to me? Tell the Israelites to move on." And I want to encourage you today in this. We want God to move. We want to see breakthrough in our life. We want to see God do more, take us further, take us to new areas and new places. And God's response to that is absolutely, He wants to do that. But He's asking you this question: what are you doing with what I've already given you? See, God's already spoken some things into your life. He's showing you things in His Word. What are you doing with what God has given you? God will deliver us. God will move in our life. He'll help us in the situations that we face. But we have to be willing to move forward and to take hold of the things that God's already told us and live them out. It's in the middle of us living out what God's already spoken. He's going to do something so much bigger than we ever thought possible. That's today's Ministry Minute.